10 minutes, you know.
Yeah, just say,
Let the people pile in.
sending out the announcement now. Let people start coming in. I guess for this episode,
I don't see my cam on stream.
yeah, it's because, there you go. You
Oh,
should be back. It's because I had to go into Discord.
gotcha.
There you go. Should only happen one other time this stream. Vowels auto-redeemed the first. It's almost like he was here ahead of time, chat. We're going to give everyone a second to come rolling in before we get into it. Luton, I don't know about you, but the way I'm imagining this is...
We do our usual spiel, and then we respond to
recap
chat.
recap a game, respond to chat, recap a game, respond to chat, blah, 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 blah. Chat, welcome to Running the Gauntlet. I'm your host, Very Last Nerve. I am, of course, joined by none other than our illustrious co-host, Luton, who I will continue to speak in so that way he doesn't have to talk while he's eating. Welcome to a little bit behind the curtain where I say, chat, you're going to be asked to introduce yourself while we go through this whole process. You can say as little as you want or as much as you want. We'll make sure to bang this out about hour and a half. All right, chat? Luton, once you gets finished talking, go ahead and introduce yourself. I got to go close my door.
Hello, chat. Sixth best ADC in the league here. Back at it again. Yeah, I'm starving, dying of dehydration. I don't know.
What? Why?
Who is they? Who is they, Dumpling?
Hostage. All right, let's let everybody funnel in. Also, chat, every now and again, you'll see something like this happen where Luton disappears for a moment. That's usually because I have to open up a full window by the nature of this being live as opposed to not live. So just be aware of that. Shouldn't happen too much, but there's always a
Scuff
chance.
stream as usual.
Yeah,
NA production.
Blah, 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 blah. Make your bits while you can. All right, I think we can start, let's say 6:15. Give us 4 more minutes. Let people come in. Hello, Promec. Hello, Loon. Dude, Loon immediately trashed his reputation, by the way. And
by having a customs draft TV?
Yeah, the customs draft TV moment. Just completely isolated his career.
Hate to see it.
Dude, I need to remove 7 TV, bro. It turns actually into this dog.
I mean, we can just rename some of those, I think.
The comp team stuff
I'd have to ask Naki.
After this. It'll be after this. I think, yeah, we'll have to ask Naki. You should be here to support us, though, Dumpling. You should be here to support us. Briefly, to talk about it, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been reading non-stop rule books today, Luton. And I've shifted my opinion. I think we should play in Risen.
Big. The GOAT TV can play again. Holy.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Yes and no. We'll see how it goes.
It depends on signups, yeah.
Yeah, we can either do the, he's one of the over peaks that get to play, or I think we have enough masters, over 100 LP, who would be willing to compete in the 250 LP soft cap.
Yeah, it's 250, and two players can cap up to 400, which might apply to a player or two.
I thought it
2
was
players,
one.
yeah. No, it's 1 for every other league except for that one.
Dude. Okay, there might be something valid we can do there, but that's something we can talk about then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, of course, to Running the Gauntlet. I gave us 2 minutes. I know I said I'd give us to 6:15, but I don't care because I'm eating ramen after this. So we can go ahead and get into it. I am, of course, this time for real official intros, joined by our illustrious co-host forever and always, Luton. Luton, how you doing?
Busy, swamped, but glad to be here.
That's what I'm glad. Appreciate you taking your time out of the day both to be here and to put together this PowerPoint. Chat, you can introduce yourself when you can. This is how it's going to go, just real quick so everyone's aware. We'll recap a game. Luton and I will give our analysis. After we give our analysis, we'll look in at chat, take in some of your feedbacks, questions, comments, concerns, address them, go on to the next game, get through the 4 games today that we have to go through. After that, we will have a segment to look through each of our predictions, all that. Blah, 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 blah. Same thing. Once we look through one, we'll look at you. You know how it goes. And then at the end, we'll take direct questions and comments, whether it's from you about the games, how we feel about it, anything like that, or future seasons. And then after that, we'll go into some more official announcements. With that, though, I see no reason not to go ahead and dive in, which is a final look at the bracket. Atomic Whisker Brigade 3-1ing Poro Pounders. He's chewing right now, so I'm gonna keep going for him. That's kind of a ridiculous turnout to me. I called it, which like I knew. VLN read the script, you know what I mean? The AWB 3-1 last minutes of the pre-show, I come in and say it. But it's still something that's absolutely ridiculous. And we'll get the chance to look at it today because I'm going to go ahead and skip the bracket since Luton is eating. And we can get into this Game 1 series analysis of PP versus AWB famously. VLN said whoever won Game 1 was going to win the whole series. Now, I don't know if anyone from Poro Pounders will actually be making it to this recap since they kind of got piss stomped a little bit, but I called it because of mental. I think if that Poro Pounders ever loses a game, they continue to lose, and I think this first game was a good evidence of that. I mean, you can look at these gold graphs. Sure, literally speaking, they might have had some gold advantages at one point, but they were just never in a position that they were actually going to win this game, and AWB just got to scale for free.
I mean, they were in a position to win bot lane for a little bit, and then Lucian got 3 kills. So, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Oops.
It is unfortunate how poor the ganked is or went in the bot side of the map. I do think in the world that Rambo, that just doesn't happen. Even if Rambo doesn't, and it doesn't have to be that he doesn't mess it up. It just doesn't happen. Different and Levi could maybe swap, because I believe Levi gets both of them to an APC, and different just kind of falls out of fashion in the game. But yeah, giving the triple kill to Alun's Lucian, which also is just crazy. Why is Alun's Lucian getting through? The moderators were in my ear telling me during the game that was Alun's best ADC by far, and it went unchecked.
I didn't know that. Cannot lie. But Chinese Lucian, pretty good, I guess. I don't know.
Chat, what does he mean by Chinese Lucian? Well, I guess I can't.
It's the build. It's the build.
That's this build, Voltaic Cyclist Sword.
Wait, specifically Electrocute as well. I don't know if it's actually Chinese. You just say Chinese builds sometimes, man.
Okay. Okay. Well, you confused me with it.
It's what Alun called it. So,
yeah.
I didn't know it was his best champ, so I can't blame PP too much. But also, like, I didn't scout. They should probably be scouting. So.
Well, they say that Alun can't be trusted with his words, so we don't know if it's a Chinese.
That's true. This guy build. Lies all the time, especially when it comes to custom LP.
Yeah, I do want to give a huge point out as well to Frosty this game. I learned after this that Frosty isn't even a mid laner. He's actually a Masters Peak top laner, subbed into mid lane. And he played a crazy connect game. Not only did he just beat the Platinum player, which, everyone expected. Leo, if you're listening, shout out to you. I think, you played better than how people were expecting after this game. But he connected some actually beautiful stuns throughout the whole game in a way that I was like, oh, I get how people see Syndra as a fun champion. You don't necessarily just have to be a piss stomping control mage waiting for 30 minutes. The play setup from that mid laner is just as good as their ability to fight. And Frosty really exploited that very well.
I don't know. In the wise words of Naki, that Syndra champ is OP as fuck. I don't know how to elaborate further than that. Like,
yeah, we got to see it at its fullest effect. I didn't know is Syndra top meta right now. Mid players, any mid players?
I don't know about top meta, but definitely pretty strong, and definitely good into a bit of an ADC centric team, I would say.
We also have the infamous Hamea spamming that Syndra into Orianna is like 1 billion% Syndra favored as well. So not only was it useful in the bot lane matchup, it's also just you win mid.
Yeah.
And then
as an Orianna main myself, I would know that. So
yeah, you are. You also kind of look like Orianna. Not to put you on pressure since we're live this week, but what if you like hit a little ballerina pose for us, Luton? Would you do that for us?
I think I'll pass on that one for now.
Okay. Well, maybe if Orianna comes up again in a different draft, we can.
Yeah.
Maybe
next time I play Orianna.
But I think the biggest fumble of this draft is you end up, if you're Poro Pounders, triple AP because the Rumble was not a flex, or it was a flex, but it ends up going top. I think Peter playing the Rumble is not your best here. And then you end up with, okay, any MR is good in this scenario, and your ADC never comes alive, so MR is even stronger. Poro Pounders just kind of get comp diffed. A lot of people said the moment that the draft went through, this game was already over in AWB's favor.
I don't think it's that bad, but it is definitely, it's pretty rough. I don't know how you kill this Ornn unless Caitlyn is turbo fed, and even then it's not going to be very fast. Also, was it first pick Ornn or first pick J4? I don't remember.
It was first pick Ornn. The Ornn pick comes through as a steal from Petergree for B1 Ornn.
J4 isn't really contested this series, is it?
Not at all. I believe Rambo plays Wukong every game in this series.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, I think you don't even have to add in this. He plays it a lot of the games. It's either that or E. That's about all I can remember at this moment on his champ pool.
I do think
I should have made if I had the time, I would have made champ pool comparisons for this. That would have been good to have.
That would have been sick. But, NA production. Maybe next season when we have a larger production.
Next season.
Yoshi played great as well. We're going to see this repeat a lot with his J4. It's a diamond top laner off-roll to jungle, in a lot of ways out-competing Rambo. And this isn't necessarily jungle for jungle knowledge. I didn't look at things like average clear time or things like that, but just the ability to dive with bot lane. If you looked at that, this whole series, the 4 games that got played, came down to which jungler could enable their bot lane the best, and then later enable their team. And time again, Yoshi somehow won out over Rambo because of that. Now, I do have to put into this, at the time of making this, it is April 9th, 2025. Rambo has called promise that he would be challenger before the next season of GCS. Keep in mind, he has never hit Masters before, and the next season of GCS,
Rambo?
Yeah, that was Rambo.
I thought that was different.
Different also said it, but he said it after Rambo to make fun of him.
Yeah.
Different hasn't ever hit Masters, and the next season of GCS is probably in 2 months tops. So it might be the most prodigious climb of all time. Luton, you got anything else you want to say about this game 1 before we turn it over to chat? What chat has to say? No.
I think they should have been more willing to flex the Rumble. It feels like every time they picked it, they actually just sent it top.
Yeah.
No, because it is a good matchup top. I guess I kind of get it, but I don't know. I think the spot lane needed a little more to try to abuse what they did have going for them.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Both Different and Rambo said it. But Rambo is the one who has never been Masters or anything to respond direct to chat. I don't know, man. The overwhelming majority of people, I actually had a conversation about this with infamous, not a Diamond 2 player, Lacuna, about how a lot of people went into finals, or not a lot of people, at least 3 teams went into finals, assuming Poro Pounders were going to win
finals?
It. Playoffs. Assuming Poro Pounders were going to win it because they had the highest average ranked roster, and all you have to do is gank bot and you win. And they smash through winners finals, get into grands, and Rambo just doesn't play for bot lane. Like this bot lane did get bled for resources, which I think is really surprising.
Master Yi player doesn't know how to play for team, I guess, something like that.
Yeah, GG. By the way, June wants you to do the ballerina dance for the 24-hour stream, Luton.
We'll see.
Do you want to announce when the 24-hour stream is going to be for the people here today?
I think it's Saturday, Sunday. I can't give an exact time right now. I got to figure that out.
Fair.
I'm getting kicked out, so a little question mark there, but I'll figure it out.
No, you'll see pretty consistently ProMech, and this is not to bag on Rambo specifically, just analyzing this game, not him as a player. A lot of times he would allocate some resources towards things topside, which I think is just almost always a failure with the team that he's on. Like all resources should be bot side. But secondarily, it's that even when he did play for bot, he did mess up some fundamental dives, right? And I think that this first game really illustrates it, where he is so aggressive. He pulls the trigger before he knows if the gun is loaded. And a lot of times that costs him. I think this early game, triple kill, I don't think it was an official triple kill, but I think it was 3, was an incredibly botched and overextended dive. And if you rewatch it, I challenge you to. Different and Levi actually want to pull out of the play after they secure their 1 kill, but then the Wukong continues to go forward, and the whole play is useless if you trade 1 for 1.
I mean, I can't say I'm too surprised. I think I don't remember if it was us that talked about it, but this has been talked about before, where Rambo just kind of consistently botches dives, and it happened in our series in upper finals, and it was talked about either here or just with other people. It might have been AWB members that recognized it. So I don't think it's that surprising, and they just need to put him on a leash somehow. I don't know how.
Dude, it might honestly be like a Yi OTP diff. You press Q, the tower doesn't hit you anymore.
Yi is pretty good at tower dives, and losing multiple tower resets and damage debuff is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, who really
pretty
knows?
bad.
It's overall, it was a smash. I'm gonna jump back to the goal graph one more time. I don't think anyone was expecting the game to be diffed this hard, especially
after the first 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I thought bot lane was cooked instantly, and then instantly turned around.
And then that leads us into the second game, the Poro Pounders return to form, which is just, like you can see from this gold graph, an absolute smash through it as well. You also notice that there is the Lucian ban as well from Poro Pounders this time. Also, I hate to say it. I just hate to say it. I was actually objectively correct that the way you play around Poro Pounders is to limit the options of Levi. Everyone said this guy plays too many champions, has a champ ocean, blah, 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 blah. I talked to Levi after the game where we talked about how maybe being in a position of force picks, his own words as well, would have been better. And he was like, they banned my Blitzcrank. What hook champ am I supposed to play? Nautilus wouldn't have done it. Thresh wasn't good enough. Pike's hook was too short. Blah, 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 blah. Consistently, they relied on the counter pick of Levi to give different a winning lane or their team a winning chance. And when you see these double bans at the end, potential 2.5 if you count the Rumble as well. Even though they lose this game, they were very aware to play for the support, which is something that VLM was saying. I'm going to go back to game 1 as well. So look at this. Okay, don't look at this one. Don't look at game 1 bans. Don't look at the game 1 bans. But
is Zoe actually a ban?
I don't know.
Does draft player play so? That seems weird to me.
I'm trusting you here. I don't think that was a ban.
That must be a bug of sorts.
I think that's meant to be a Vayne ban. I think they banned Vayne.
Well, no,
Vayne is there.
Vayne is there.
I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. Anyway, let's look at this game 2.
That's got to be a bug.
This was...
Oh, they lost a ban. That's right.
Yeah, it was the lost ban. That's what it was. Good shout. Good shout. I want to find a way to make Fearless be in playoffs. It will require us to cook. But reading the new comp team rules, I honestly would be fine with the idea that you're pulling out X amount of players, since, that's likely what we go with. Because then it still affects, because some players do stay in from the previous roster.
Yeah.
And it prevents situations like this, where if you look game 1 to game 2, you're seeing the repeat Caitlyn, Lux, Wukong, and repeat Ornn, Victor. So 5 out of the 10 champions are direct repeats from the last game.
The question becomes, first of all, I don't think you do bans count. I think you only do picks count. And then the question is, if a player plays game 1, say they play Caitlyn, can a different player play at game 2? Realistically, you want to say no, because the enemy team couldn't play it. So, how do you then start targeting their highest elo player and just stealing their champs before they get the chance? Which, I guess it's not a bad thing necessarily. And if we don't allow bans to count as full bans, I think it could be okay. So there might be a way. I could be open to that.
If we can figure out a way,
it'd be soft Fearless, pretty much.
You can see chat right now saying, there's an interest there, but just something to get us out of these loops. Because this game, I mean, it showcases that with similar builds, you can still affect games differently. You notice half the champions are different, but you're gonna see this Jarvan the Fourth Wukong matchup a lot. And going into it, I think in commentary, I give it to Yoshi on my prediction, just because how Jarvan played into him, and then he just changes it up. I would have lived to see something completely differently drafted. I also, just real quick, chat to jump in. I do think if we did it, we should go full fearless, where like if Caitlyn has played, Caitlyn's just banned. And then if anything, there might be a benefit to starting your worst players sooner so they have more champions to play.
I think if you're doing fearless, you target the best player. I think you 5-ban ADCs every against a loon, you know?
No, yeah. But I'm saying that's what causes the teams to have to play their best players first. Or their worst players first.
If you're playing your worst players first, then you're getting a loon in with minus 20 ADCs.
Well, okay, this is going to sound like I'm being a bully. I'm not. I'm just going to use you and a loon as an example. Okay? If you play a loon first, by proxy of banning a loon's champions, you ban out all of Luton's champions. And a loon can rebound, but you can't. You know what I mean?
In theory, yeah, higher elo players should have bigger champ pool or at least ability on worse champs.
Or you look at Tom Tua, bro. You want him to get the Kench before Promech plays, or else it's GG. Anyway, we don't got to talk about Fearless. We can save that for discussion, question and answers at the end. Let's look at this game where I am going to walk back something I said on commentary, live for chat today. On commentary, I said that this series was a two-man carry for Poro Pounders in Rambo and Different. I have since rewatched it actively, genuinely. I'm going to say it's a three-man carry. I'm actually going to say Levi contributed a lot. Those 17 assists were a huge amount of setups, and he's undercredited for kills this game because they were taken because of his setup, and you're not meant to take it, blah, 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 all that. I do think Peter played amazing. He's a great evidence why K'Sante is a overwhelmingly strong pick. I think he's busted topside. I'm surprised we didn't see him get played more, especially after Peter played him this well this series. And then Peter Griefer being 4-1, or not Peter Griefer, excuse me, Giraffe Rider 4-1-10, just became a secondary support, which honestly worked out very well, in my opinion. I don't think anyone ever expected him to come out of any series positive. And so he did. It's pretty good. And meanwhile, June and Aloon. June had a lot of oversteps early, and then the lane just died. Just straight up died.
Yeah, I think it was the same punish as game one, but then it kept happening instead of a triple kill going to a lane. I do think Rambo deserves some credit. I think his early game was pretty good. I think his KP was higher than the rest of his team, maybe. I can't remember for sure, but it was definitely high. So you can't count out on that, but I mean, yeah, you're telling me the two carries of the game were the two GM players? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I gave Rambo a lot of... I actually undersold Levi this game during live commentary.
Fair, yeah.
Just because it's a lot harder to notice. I don't... Like, Levi hits a light binding, and you see all these crazy, like, Wukong Cyclone or Ace in the Hole that actually secures the kill. But the sustained damage that's able to be hit onto whoever he catches with a light binding was kind of undersold by me. It's just the way that, like, in Dungeons and Dragons, +1 to AC doesn't feel as good as +1 to damage, because the loss state, you don't, if someone misses an attack on you, you don't think about it, but that +1 AC makes it way harder for an attack to hit you. But it's just like nerd shit, you know what I mean? It's nerd shit.
Yeah.
You don't credit Levi as being the carry in this game because he doesn't have a lot of kills and he isn't necessarily doing anything flashy on Lux. No offense, Levi. But he is being the playmaker. I think he provided primary setup for his team, even greater than Rambo. I think Rambo did a very good to dive, provided a lot of engage as well. But most of the engagements start with a light binding, and then the Wukong goes in. And so I think that was an undersell on my part. Yeah, the play actually. I'm gonna cut ahead to respond to chat just to say, this game is where you hit the clip where Different and Levi, very low health, running away from Loon after they killed June. You think that the play's over because technically, like, a Loon could full charge a Q, get a kill, something like that. and Levi flashes back while running away, hits the, I believe it's just straight E perma kill. Like no one expected it. I don't even understand what's going on. My brain doesn't digest it fast enough before the game is over. Luton, what do you think? I just yapped a lot about this game.
I think Levi only had 4 kills on most tests on a team. I think he got put in the backpack, got carried like the bum he is.
Yeah, fuck that Levi guy. Everything I just said is fraudulent. It is.
I love results-based analysis. It's so great.
I'm going to say this too. How you going 0-6 on Ornn? How you going 0-6 on Ornn?
Into a tank? That's crazy.
Come on now. I'm going to leave sources unnamed. But there was a particular player, again, sources unnamed, who looked at this overall series, the 4 games, but also this game, and said, and I quote, "If Promech plays like this, winning or losing, that brother will never get above Diamond 4. I'm not good enough to understand if that's true or that's real. That player is significantly better than me, but 0-6 on Ornn is crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Rough.
That's it. That's all we get is the rough.
At least that's not a team.
Yoshi also sprinted it. Sometimes the flag drag brings you quicker to your death. You know what I mean?
Most of the time, I would say, generally, but sometimes it gets you kills before then.
There isn't much more to say about this series. I feel like it's an absolute smash through. I think this game is what everyone thought the whole series was going to be, and I actually have to say, after game 1, where Poro Pounders lose, Different DM'd me and said, remember that you predicted whoever lost game 1 lost the whole series. And then they smashed through like this.
I did hear. I believe somebody wanted to lose game 1 solely to prove that wrong.
Well, I got worried when they smashed this hard game 2 that is what they did. But no spoilers. Something else happened that kind of alerted me that wasn't the truth. Chat, how do you feel? Promech, we're not going to pull you in yet. We'll do that at the end. Because if I pull you in now, it fucks up Luton's camera. So any comments you got to say? That. No one talking about the Promech flash on game 1 for Caitlyn R? Don't even remember. Do you remember?
We're just avoiding talking about Promech, period. Like, come on.
I mean, I talked about him.
Unless it's negative.
I talked about him. So
true.
Vi, Talia, Permabot.
Bro, it's talking about next game. Come on, get with the schedule.
Yeah, bro, you gotta chill.
Not there yet.
You gotta chill, bro. I guess they have nothing. We can go ahead and go to the third game. They didn't jump in. And then we go right back to an AWB win. And I mean, this is looking like Mariana's Trench of a gold graph here. Like, it's almost 50% pink. It wasn't even close. And notice, trip support ban. 3 support bans. 2.5 technically, but I think Levi is better on the Rumble than Peter is. No offense to Peter, but 3 support bans from AWB. It's almost like people write me off just because I'm silver 2. That's all I have to say.
I think when it comes to that, I think they should have done what we did against AWB. And June is picking an enchanter. I think you probably could have picked Levi Blitz or some other champ like early just to prevent the 2 bans. And you'd be fine with the matchup, and maybe it gives you a little better counter elsewhere. Sure, Blitz 3rd pick isn't great, but what was the other ban?
The other ban is
Mel?
It's Lux.
Oh, it's Lux, really? Oh.
Because you just don't want to get the Lux.
I mean, just pick Lux early if you're gonna pick it,
Yeah, I do. I actually 100% agree with Luton here. That is my take. Levi is so much better of a player, and I think could have affected bot lane so much harder than June is, that exactly like Luton said, no matter what she picks, maybe except for this Yuumi, early pick the Blitz rank and just beat the shit out of them bot lane. That said, to quote Sifra, the Yuumi pick was to give June an enchanter that she could not pilot herself, because if she was in control of her own movement, she would walk in and die. Levi indifferent. You see that in both of the series, or the games in the series prior to this. She walks up, she just gets absolutely obliterated in the first 3 minutes of the game. And in this one, she had a GM walking for her, so she's completely
Well,
safe.
she had a GM walking for her most of the time, but I see 5 deaths on the GM and 0 on the Yumi, so like I think she walks better. Just
There's
saying.
there is a beautiful moment in this game where they fully team fight different or Alun dies and June's like 1 HP and June just walks away from her team
Yeah.
fighting and just bases, bro. Like it's actually like I think they still win the team fight, but it's like Promech is left alive. I think it was just Promech and Yoshi. And Yoshi had been dead and respawned and came back. And so June just dipped. Like she did not give a fuck about staying.
I'm realizing now when it comes to the draft, I assume first 3 picks were Wukong, Wei, Kate. So picking Levi early probably means you lose either Wei or Wukong, which does kind of suck. So I can kind of understand why it's hard.
I'm not in Poro Pounders to know, but look back. Again, I challenge you, chat. Rambo on Wukong has had his most historically awful performances. It had a great one last game. The game 2 was a great one. But he does not perform well on the Wukong. He needs to play engage and play tankier engages. This effectively bruiser jungler is not what he needs to be. He either needs to be a carry, Viego, Yi, stuff like that, or full tank, Zac, Skarner, Sejuani. I don't think he functions well in this middle ground. I said it on commentary. I don't think he's ever had a lead on Wukong that he earned. It was always gifted to him. Even in the last game, the 16-3, he was given a double kill in a bot lane engagement early and just snowballed from there.
Yeah, that's fair. Back to the other like the draft thing. I do question like Draft Rider in a way is definitely good, but at some point I question, does it matter what you put Draft Rider on? He's gonna go out kind of neutral and not impact too terribly much. So I think you kind of give that priority to Levi if it gives him a better champ. But still,
not to be that
I
guy.
think it's hard when Rambo and Draft kind of both have smaller pools. If I had to guess,
I'm gonna jump us back to this game 1 where they ban the Hui, and this is where Giraffe Rider goes the 0-6.
Does he play Syndra as well? He played something else pretty good. I don't remember what it was.
I think it's another long range artillery. It might have been
not specifically this series, just generically.
Yeah, I think it might have been the Syndra. It is. I mean, this we can't oversell it. This was the Alun June show, like giving your best player a pocket healing shield that no amount of damage the burn character in the Caitlyn can do, like it just gets countered. Like the bot lane felt like a counter matchup because it's poke into Enchanter, right?
That's a bit of it's more the support the bot lane got. This different Levi bot lane should shit on a Kai'Sa Yumi lane. The healing isn't that substantial early, and Kai'Sa is so short range. It needs the help to get out of that lane any scotch free. Like,
well, by help,
there's no way. If they left this lane alone, Different and Levi are not with those KDs.
I mean, Alun and June also, like, they get to sit back a turret because I think Alun's happy to just scale. And that's where we see the weakness of Rambo's Wukong, is because that I feel like that's supposed to be like a permanent dive angle because it's effectively just 1 HP bar you're beating, maybe 1.5 if you count the Yumi healing shield.
Yeah.
And I don't think we see really any, or I guess they're saying the Wukong engage level 4. I don't think that was a dive, but I don't think we see any dives throughout this game onto the effectively solo Kai'Sa.
Yeah, I mean, they just needed support. If it's a 3v3, maybe they can win it. I don't know.
Apparently, it was just a poorly set up dive, is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I actually have a vague memory of that now that you are saying it. We see this in the game before where he does well. He tries the W in on like a low health Alun, just gets flashback, he dies. And it was actually a repeat of that in this one. He just goes in way too early and is down. And then from there, it's just...
He was like always using the W to get in closer. He never saved it for after, which was really surprising.
Yeah. Before we move to talking to chat about this game, I actually have something that I want to bring up Luton, again, might disappear for a moment, but I set this up ahead of time. So let's just go ahead and enable this real quick. So this is a Twitch clip, one of the 2 Twitch clips taken from finals. I'm going to throw us in theater mode here. We can just watch this together, chat. You're going to hear me say, let's go topside, where you see Peter Griefer versus Promech. He actually is going to be able to confirm. Watch this. Flash, Billow's Breath, a solo bolo.
Solo bolo.
I don't know.
Rough.
I don't know if they could hear it.
I wouldn't want to be that guy.
But Peter's exact words, his own words, there isn't a universe in the multiverse. Promech wins top lane. And he solo bolos him here in this game 3. Let it live forever in infamy. Let no one forget it. Chat, how do we feel about this game 3? Or go ahead.
What was the lowest KP of top lane in this series? It had to have been pretty low.
Probably Promech's 6 and 4 in the previous game.
Yeah, okay, that would do it, huh?
Yeah, I think.
Game 1, Peter Griffin was 1-3 and 3. That's a fun top lane is impactful game right there.
Yeah, 1-3 and 3 is.
2-7
honestly, that game has even less impact than the 0-6 performance. Yeah, I do, Levi. So you're saying that the no Talia ban for the rest of the series here is because Different just didn't do his research, or was he egoing the Talia? Give us the insight on why Frosty's best mid lane champion is never banned. No, misclick. No, that's the next game. Again, you're 1 game ahead of us. The Yuumi is in this game.
They did ban Yuumi next game.
We don't ban the Talia this game because you just don't know about it. Is that what it is?
They dropped the Trist ban for it the next game, but I thought they banned Trist earlier. Never mind, no, they didn't. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Oop, I didn't mean to jump into this last one. Yeah, I'm very surprised.
Was it picked earlier?
Show bans, here bans.
It must have been picked earlier because they banned it in round 2, the other 2, and
I get that
we're keep blinded, I guess.
I'm gonna say
that's not blind.
In any world, is Yoshi's Gwen scarier than Frosty's Talia?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think Yoshi's role on this team is to enable the others. It's not to be a carry himself ever.
Yeah.
Not like because he can't or anything. It's just like that's how the team functions. Gwen can buy a lot of space to kind of enable, but I don't think it's. I guess its early game is better now, so it's hard to say on that regard. But
I was lied to that it wasn't Frosty's pick. I was told it was Yoshi's jungle pick last week on Running the Gauntlet.
Oh, did you say Frosty? Yeah, no.
You lied
Yoshi
to me
spammed
last week.
Yoshi. We banned Yoshi's because we knew he was spamming it. If Frosty, I guess Frosty would be willing to play at mid because he is a top main, huh?
Yeah. Fuck that. Well, actually, I have no problems with Frosty. I just wanted to bag on him for losing to Evaps in top lane yesterday in the tournament they were playing in, where Evaps was playing set. So just let it be known. Yeah, but then it's like if you put Frosty top, I feel like that's a huge misplay, actually. Because I think Peter Griefer plays in a Frosty's Gwen better than whatever Frosty plays mid plays into Peter Griefer. Right? Like, you want Frosty to get further and further ahead. Why would you put him top lane with the Gwen? If anything, put the Gwen mid. Because Peter will isolate Frosty. Not necessarily saying he wins it, but I think it's going to come out neutral. And there's a world where Promech loses mid to Giraffe Rider, especially if the way comes through.
Yeah, I think he could keep it mid realistically, but
all right, I'm gonna take us to this 4th game just for pacing. We're doing good today.
Yeah.
I'd be playing Galio or TK mid. Yeah, I still think he could do it. Then we go into the 4th and final game. Now, keep in mind, I was told I crashed out at AWB and they never knew it. I was told in the middle of this game that AWB was considering FFing the whole series because they would lose Frosty after this game. Yeah, because of time. We should put in the rules.
You have to play all 5 games no matter
if
what.
you FF a game
or whatever
in finals, a proportion of your winnings are just denied to you. I read that in Risen's rulebook. They actually have rules for individual games and then whole series. Depending on how much you FF, you will either lose the fund that you pay, like you pay a deposit, or you can even lose more. I think there's value in doing that because I don't want anyone to FF my series. It's like my biggest pet peeve. But you can see this one. This one was what cemented that ain't nobody believe in AWB, but God did. Because we are in a game 4 scenario. Notice, of course, the double ban on supports. Game 4 scenario, Poro Pounders are absolutely bending AWB over backwards. You can't tell from this screenshot, but trust me, look at the gold graphs. It's looking like a game 5 is assured. And out of nowhere, Alun, the problem player, but not a problem for his own team, a problem for the opponents, shows that he has the capacity to carry. And this is, of course, the game that I famously say, I think within this tournament, Alun has proven to be the best ADC hands down, and I don't think it's close. I think he solo revitalizes his team this game, and I think that cannot be understated.
I still have a hard time believing they won this game, honestly. Like, it was probably, I mean, that was best game of playoffs, realistically. Maybe, well, I'd have to go through it again, but like, that was such a great watch. I don't understand how they won that at all. They kept winning team fights they should not have won.
Yeah.
Getting Hextixel helped a lot, but like, they shouldn't have been in the position to get Hextixel ever.
They shouldn't. I mean, look, I can't undersell this gold graph here. Like, just take the look where it is 9K. Just misengagement after misengagement, and every critical shutdown went to Alun. Like, it wasn't just that bad fights were being taken. It was that the bad fight was taken, and the person who needed the resources got it, every single bit of it for AWB. And just from there, it's smash after smash. Every time they're taking, Poro Pounders takes a bag team fight, they lose their whole team, and they lose a critical objective. Yoshi is, of course, an assist bot in this game. It is important to remember. I'll never let Yoshi forget. He sprinted this series at Mach 12. I think it's important to remember, like I said, AWB thought they were losing if they lost this game. So there was a lot of pressure. Yeah. I think June was a little frustrated going into it, and a lot of players here were not – they were playing scared, straight up. I even think Frosty played a bit scared, transitioning more to a carry or a support this game than a carry. Early game, he didn't have his best, even though it was the Talia, just because it's – I don't know. It was a scary game. It was looking like a Yoshi check your PayPal type game until they won. Until Alun said he didn't get paid off, I promise.
It was a rough series for both these junglers, honestly. A lot of the times, they were just going in a mile deep with no teammates behind it. Like, Yoshi had a couple of flash ults on a target, and nobody's close to following up on it. Like, it was just absolutely enting.
And on top of that, Poro Pounders were strong. Overplayed. Like, they were winning. Yeah. And so he'd flash ult onto different 1v1 him, Vi versus Caitlyn, and just lose those. He would just lose them. But I don't know. 15-7 GM Caitlyn and a 10-5 GM Levi or GM Lux, and they lose to the 21-4 current GM Kaisa. I guess
if you watch some of the team fights, the Kaisa was so well played. It's kind of understandable. It's hard to beat that one. I don't know.
And it's also like, look at I'm gonna say it. Okay, look at the builds. So one, you have a Galio, right? Galio's building Hollow Radiance for Italia. That's not the problem. And you have Peter Griefer building Randuin's. Chat.
For the love of the game.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. There are no crit items in Alun's build, correct? Maybe there's like some crit in there, but it's not a crit build.
That's zero crit. There is a
Um,
0 crit on that team. Unless for some reason that works on Talia's single rock throw, and I don't think it does. So, oops. I mean,
yeah.
what's the option other than that? Is it Dead Man's? I don't think Dead Man's is great on Ornn, but like,
If you're
there's
building
got to be a better
Randuin's,
option.
the other one is Frozen
I guess you
Heart.
just go Frozen Heart, which
Yeah.
doesn't have HP, but I think you're fine with that.
Or you just
You have
don't build
Warmogs.
that item, right? Like if you're looking for armor, probably I would go Thornmail here. I feel like you go Thornmail, just full on the item.
Hey, he was halfway there.
Yeah, he built full
He was
Randuin's
getting there.
before building it. Because you're cutting out the healing power of Emilio, you're reflect damaging the Kai'Sa who has to hit you, and then maybe from there I could also see, maybe it's a little bit of a cook, but I think there's a world you build Heartsteel here as well. Like you punish the Kai'Sa for
Ornn?
having to hit you by having a ton of HP and reflecting the damage.
Oh, Heartsteel.
There are worlds you build the Heartsteel. There are worlds.
No. I mixed up Heartsteel with the split pushing one for some reason. I just had a stroke. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No, that's Hullbreaker. That's Hull.
Hullbreaker, yeah,
Dude, the
not even
Hullbreaker
close.
Ornn build would have been elite
That
tech. Both of these
Yeah.
players are friendly reminders, of course, to me, VLN, that it is possible for any top laner to hit Diamond or even Masters. All you have to do is lock in tanks. You don't have to learn fundamentals. Peter doesn't even know how to build. That guy's a Masters top laner, by the way. And you can get there. Tanks are OP. They're OP.
Especially see Serpents on Wukong as well. Like, there are some fat shields from Kaisel and TK ult, but like,
Well, TK's W.
is he gonna apply that really that well? I don't know.
Does
No,
it
no,
apply
no,
from
the ult.
Cyclone? Does it apply from Cyclone?
I mean, yeah, but like, I think Serpents is overvalued a lot.
Yeah, I do think so as well.
I think you need to be frontline here. You don't need to be denying shields necessarily.
I disagree with that. Another crazy take, maybe. I feel like Rambo was the only one who ever had the ability to actually get on a loon. And I don't know if you can build like a high DPS or burst Wukong. But if you could find a way to trade Rambo's life when he dives in for a loons, or even just a lot of damage onto a loon, it's way better than playing a frontline Wukong, I feel like.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's not bad, but I think it's bad on Wukong here. I don't know. I can see it, but I also don't know the time or the durations on Kaisa and TK shield and stuff like that.
I think
Emilio shields are decent late game, but they're pretty tiny early.
like the game does just become protect the president for a loon, and so any shields is probably bad. But again, like Domino Luminis said it great. Like Rambo went in and died every team fight.
Yeah.
He pressed the R key twice and died. So it didn't counter any of the shields. The item just didn't do what it needed to do to be useful.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to kill a Kaisa when she gets her own shield, and then melee shield, and then a TK ult, and then the shield after the TK ult. It's a lot. There were a lot of really good TK ults this game as well.
Yeah,
I was pretty impressed by them.
I think I said it in commentary. I'll say it again now. That was Promex showing off his understanding of the champion. A lot of critical TK ultimates, not just the fact that the consume your carry was used, but I do think there is a world where Promech missing those loses them this game.
I think there's one that directly impacted the first comeback team fight, yeah.
Yeah.
And that probably would just flip the entire game.
And I think it is like, I hate to give it to him, but Promech played it very, very well. Still a stark reminder I can get the diamond by playing tanks, but yeah, he did play this game very well. He used the mechanics well, and I was happy to see Promech pilot a champion in a game that no one could deny his usefulness for, right? We've seen people throughout the season ban the TK and say, oh, TK is just strong right now, right? Especially at the start of the season. I don't necessarily think the TK was ever particularly strong champion-wise this game. Promech just played it very, very well. He's still ass at the game, though. That guy sucks at the game.
Sure.
Loses to VLN.
Well, the VLN guy can hit diamond. So, like...
Yeah, I mean, let's just let it be known. Prime, peak LP Promech lost to off-rolled or playing tank VLN. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Hey, I might be struggling to get out of gold, but you're struggling to get your money up, bro. And your funny up. Don't even talk to me, dog.
Ooh, double.
Turning
there,
point in this
damn.
game was where Galio TP'd bot, but PP were still pushed in mid. So AWB just forced mid. Yeah, I mean, there was that the team fight that Kaisa gets the first triple kill? Is that the teleport bot?
Sounds right.
Yeah, that would make sense because then Alun
Oh, yeah, it
just
was
gets
pretty
the
late, if I
scale.
remember right.
Yeah. Overall, a phenomenal 3-1. I predicted it, and I believed in my prediction. Promech or anyone on AWB can't say that I didn't believe in them. I was a pull one warrior the moment GT lost, and I had genuine faith in them. I'm surprised at how convincing two of their victories were. I thought it was going to be scrappy every match. I thought it was going to be games like this. But, I mean, they're dominant. Promech said it best on his episode of Running the Gauntlet 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? Was he our first playoffs guest?
No, that was Hamea.
Yeah, then.
Or, well, that was end of regular season. Maybe that was first playoffs.
Either 3 or 4 weeks ago. They were dark horses. And
who was first on playoffs?
Might have been Naki.
That sounds right. It might have been Naki.
Um,
It had to have been Naki, I think.
But all in all, a great showing. AWB, I was very happy to get the win. There are a lot of people on Poro Pounders that I like now and I'm friends with now. I think they're good guys. I hope they stay in the community. But AWB had some old heads who had never won a championship. And I'm happy to see June and Promech enter the halls, not only in a season that we ran, but the first season of GCS with the rebrand, which I think is great. Now we can go to the fun part. Chat, do you have anything else you want to say about the series altogether, 3-1, or this game specifically? Go ahead. I'm going to hit my emotes like I do on Running the Gauntlet. Keep in mind, for all of you who don't know, Luton can't see me right now unless he has the stream up. I can see him. He cannot see me, so he doesn't know what I'm emoting.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You're not playing support again? That's not
you
real. You need what?
You're going to need to update the PowerPoint in a minute.
I'll go ahead and do that. Luton, read chat.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready.
Will other/older winners gets their name ran back in the Hall of Fame? No. We do not support, or I guess support's not a tough word. Anything that was VLN is legacy, but I don't care about logging it anymore. Because as we become GCS, move forward as Gauntlet Championship Series, those wins don't matter. We're throwing out the old history and caring about the new one. They looked obviously like the winners because they were the only ones to 3 times 2-0 subtly ending. True. Guess I can't deny that. Results-based analysis. In what universe does Glue Factory win? When Luton is not the starting ADC for that team. Probably is the world that it wins.
Real and factual.
Rip to Wine Cake, just bring him back. I think it's important as we go to establish our brand that we kill the idea of VLN versus GCS. I was here from X time. I'm an old head, blah, blah, blah. Even though I just said it. But specifically meaning not socially, like people have just been around a while, but the tournament. Because I think what you did when we were VLN doesn't matter. Because VLN was Emerald to low Masters. It was such a concentrated rank that I think the level of competition between the last VLN tournament and this GCS tournament is night and day different. That, quite frankly, I think the win in this tournament is leaps and bounds more impressive than the win in anything else that we did. VLN is the ABA and GCS is the NBA. Well, put VLN League because like VLN is also a guy who's me, right? We got to make the distinction. But I mean, like this season, this team, AWB won with a diamond top laner, diamond top off roll to jungle, Masters mid, GM ADC, and Emerald Peak years ago support versus a Masters top, D1 jungle, Platinum mid laner, formerly GM, currently Masters ADC, formerly GM, currently Masters support. Like, that is a serious, cool win. Other than the last one, I'd say I'm pretty sure the average. I don't even think the average in the last tournament was very high. No. I think the two teams who made it to the end had higher.
Are we talking the Fearless or the last?
The Fearless. The Fearless.
Fearless was decent. It's not as high as this one, though.
Yeah, I think the last two remaining teams could hack it in GCS, but the tournament altogether, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well,
If
the one in the lower wasn't bad either, or the second tournament, if you know what I mean.
yeah, Spencer Smurf through it all.
Yeah,
If we're
that
being
guy's the goat.
honest, I'm an Emerald top laner. No, that's if we're being generous. So, um, you hit Diamond playing Malzahar. Yeah, anyone can one trick Malzahar to Diamond. I'm just busting Pro Max balls. All right, am I good to reset this, Luton? Am I good to reset this?
No, I'm still working on it.
Which
I'm adding a
this
lot of X's and check marks.
we are
Very fun.
actively working on ways to chronicle and archive the teams, by the way, on the website. So you can go see the legacy as we build it from here on out. But yeah, TV has never won a tournament, right? Even though he
Yeah, that
technically
guy
did,
sucks.
because we don't care about those anymore. There's
Was
only
that? I guess that was feeling.
yeah, there's only 8 players who can say they've won a tournament. Uh, so they're technically stronger by power scaling. Hey, we can say we were finalists though.
You, who was finalists?
V8 TV made it to
Or
finals in our first tournament. Playoffs made it to playoffs. Made it to playoffs. Because I play esports. I want to use the terminology of football, so I feel like an athlete. Losers. All of you are losers. Not all of you, just Luton. I shouldn't say all of you. I'm just bullying.
yeah, because dude, what's it called? Sports doesn't use playoffs; they only use finals.
No, esports use finals. It's like
Yeah, but
quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. You know what I mean? Grand finals. That's where hot take.
I mean, that's just a lower bracket diff.
Since I'm just looking for things to stall for time while Luton fixes it, that's why I call it finals, because finals means like semis, quarters, grands, all of that. You know what I mean? Why is the
I could
round one
yap a
draft
list for
grid
that.
for you guys
I should get
different?
now.
Made his list. My round, if I drafted again, pack one, pick one out of all of the players that played this season, I would draft Levi.
Just for the love of the game, or
No, I unironically think, say what you want about Levi's personality. I unironically think Levi is the most mechanically gifted player in the tournament.
if he's willing to not play support, I could see it. If he's playing support, I'm sorry, you're cooked.
No, I think he is kind of like Dumpling, where you're not using Levi right if you're making him just play conventional supports. Make him play supports that do 55,000 damage and let him be effectively the APC in the bot lane.
I mean, that's fair, but I don't know if he is that guy. I know Dumpling plays it, so I can say I don't know if Levi plays more than just Rumble.
And
I used
I'm
to play the Mel too.
and I'm gonna
But
say I wouldn't put a loon that hard, because if you load any ADC in a game against Peter Grouper and Rambo playing like this, they'll drop a 25-4 game.
right, yeah, I'd agree.
Like even Luton could do what a
ADC
loon
easy,
did here.
bro. Yeah.
Despite being challenger, I don't think Pandemonium is as good as Levi in the comp environment. Gumby Power is on Fraud Watch. Baby Gumby 2008, if you're here, he's on Fraud Watch.
Gumby's only here for customs.
He's on Fraud Watch.
And an MSI ticket.
Pick one just has to be Gumby. Okay, I'm sorry. Call it rage bait because he's challenger. I've watched hundreds of hours of this dude streaming, okay, including his tournament games. That guy just runs it down sometimes. Gumby, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I've watched that guy play. Why are we putting Gumby Power in the jungle, guys? Why does Gumby Power practice the jungle role on his stream? Is the shit updated, by the way, so I can change it?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to work on the PowerPoint real quick, so it's going to go black screen. Luton's going to talk to you guys, make you guys feel special.
Oh, I didn't know about that. How did Gumby lose his number one slot? He fucking sprint it for 10 games, or like, what happened? Oh, I guess you guys played a lot of customs 2 nights ago.
Okay, we're back. See, he plays the role he feels like playing. So drafting a mid because he's a challenger doesn't make sense, right? Like, because he'll just play whatever he wants. And no offense, Gumby, he's not challenger in every role. Come on. Everybody knows this, right? All right, you ready to move to the next segment? Prior
diff, holy shit.
predictions. Do you know which one this starts with?
Evaps?
Okay, yeah, that's good. Evamps, who is not here to defend himself, we can all make fun of this tier list together, has the week 1 tier list. Now, it's crazy. He has...
When was MBR updated? Was that week 1?
Yeah, it was before the first game. It was actually 16 hours before the first game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that guy's a fraud. Damn, this guy sucks at tier lists.
Well, yeah, anyone who puts AWB in S tier prior to the change was a little cooked in the head when they made their tier list. But
yeah, I mean, 2 GMs, how can lose?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 finalist teams in the top 3 tiers. Feels solid, right? I mean, what are we using for points of comparison? Summon admins being that low is crazy.
Oh, I didn't count it. I just threw it in.
No, I just counted it live. Like
there is
we're making
one.
It together.
I made a tier list where it's just first, second, third, fifth. Like if they tied in playoffs at a certain point, they put them together.
I was just trying to bait
you. So you could compare it to that.
It was like a shit tier list. That's what.
Oh,
you're supposed to say. It is a shit tier list.
Yeah,
it's bad. You know. V8 and Molly the dog tier.
That's crazy.
Why is V8 and Molly the dog tier? That's crazy, by the way. I mean, he's not here to defend ours. I'm going to go to mine, which is probably the most perfect tier list of all time. If you look at it, VLN week 1
perfect.
tier list.
It was so perfect I had to change the format because it's so fucking wide.
I just want to say, okay, so just look at this real quick. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of the 12 finalist teams. No, 11 out of the 12 finalist teams correctly predicted to be in the top power rankings of the tier list. How could I have done so good? Like, look at my tier. I have AWB finalist team who wins.
11. How are you mathing that out?
I count my S, A, and B tier for the teams that went into finals.
Oh, okay. So
or in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay. So you
top
just didn't
3
count.
tiers.
I was looking at the bottom 4, and I was like, Lacuna didn't make playoffs. I didn't realize this.
No, they did. They did. It's not the first 11.
I got it now. My bad.
I do think I maintain, not because they eliminated us. I don't think Lacuna Matata was that good. I think ultimately they could have went lower. Molly the dog, of course, could have went all the way down. World Orders could have went lower as well. Summon admins could have shot up, and then 07, of course, could have went all the way down. But GT made it to 3rd place. They're in my S tier. AWB, of course, won it all. And Poro Pounders, 2nd place, end up in my A tier. I feel like that's pretty solid.
Pretty good.
He does not occasionally play at a Masters level. We're smoking fucking crack. Luton is a D4 ADC that sometimes plays at like a D2 level. Okay? Just saying it. Luton, tell me I'm wrong.
I'm good.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to yap in that one.
I mean, I think that my tier list should be... Chad, what do you think about VLN's week 1 tier list?
We were high off something with 07. I don't know. I mean, I think they had the potential, just didn't work.
I mean,
your top 6, your other 5 are really solid for being in the top.
How is my A tier a joke? In my A tier were the final 4 teams in the entire tournament. I get between S and A. I have Poro Pounders and Nova Chrysalis. Poro Pounders 2nd. Nova Chrysalis is effectively 4th, right? Technically.
They're 4th, 5th, yeah.
Yeah. And then I have 3 and 1. Why isn't Glue Factory an S tier? Because Glue Factory sucked, bro. It had Luton.
True.
Luton. Did TV add up the points for playoffs predictions? I don't know. That's up to him.
I think PP and GF are the highest jumps generally.
Yeah, I do think that's true. Summon admins is the highest.
MBR is probably the bigger falls.
I
guess 07 as well.
Guys, Luton was good. The slander is crazy. No, I hate revisionist history. I'm sorry, Luton. Pause for 1 second. Alun, you haven't been here, okay? You think that this slander is crazy. Luton's a good player. Blah 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 blah. No, okay. Luton was hailed genuinely as God's gift to ADC. That's why that shit's fake. That's why every time it's rage bait, I fall for it. Okay, because that guy, despite being Emerald 4 peak at the time, was genuine. They compared him to Guma fucking Yushi, Alun. Okay, I've seen this guy lock his main and go 1-7 against like platinum players. Okay, Luton deserves the hate. Okay, hates it. That's all. Luton, do you have anything to say in your defense before we look at your tier list?
They can yap what they want. I don't mind.
Okay. Let's take a second to look at Luton's week 2 tier list. Luton, why do we not have your week 1 tier list?
Because I wasn't on for week 1.
Oh, yeah. Shout out. Luton didn't love us
late.
yet. Man, talk me through it. Holy shit. You technically have the worst tier list.
Maybe.
No, you're also 11 out of 12. But
yeah,
you don't have any correct predictions.
I like my bottom
in the
4.
S-tier.
Yeah, my S tier. I mean, I think GT up there is pretty fair still.
Yeah,
but
GT
I think
valid.
it's pretty good except for like Summit and Pro Pounders. I think those are the worst ones. I guess an S probably drops down a tier as well, if you really think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can think.
If by that I mean think about it for half a second.
You were the only one who had. I'm gonna bounce AWB. Yeah, you didn't have any finalist teams prediction correctly in the S tier. Lost out in 3rd place.
Woof diff. What can I say, man?
True. The crash out of a century.
I knew there was the potential, but oops. Unlucky.
It is. You also the world orders. It's crazy. All of us put the world orders that low. Like I think I'm the most generous in B tier.
I feel like
they still qualified for finals.
Respectfully, like a lot of the time, I kind of just forgot about them.
Very fair.
I still remember 07 and FF and I just kind of forgot about that team a lot of the time. I didn't watch many of their games really. Like they were just there.
They didn't really engage.
Rough,
we actually streamed them a lot, by the way, just by happenstance that FF would forfeit so many games that we would default to 2. Just everyone on that team are solid guys. I think some of them, I saw Edmund and Earthen duoing the other day. So they definitely made connections.
Yeah, they do it pretty often,
as a team, which I'm very
Which is a weird duo, but fair enough.
Top ADC? Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad duo. It's probably one of the least impactful on the map duos you can have.
I don't know how you end up with that, but
fair enough. I think the next predictions are more important. These are just a reminder on who we thought was strong.
I think I brought it back.
I think we nailed these pretty well. Like, I think yours is the worst, and it's not even that bad. Like, I think we were pretty locked on the terms, team strength.
There's a couple misses here and there, but that's expected. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, one final look through. Chad, anything about our tier list? Anything at all?
You can go to the next one. It's just another tier list.
Oh, yeah, wait. Hold on. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, let's say it definitively. I'm going to give you my tier list, and then you give me yours. Okay, so first, second, and third, that's locked in. You can't change that.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm going to put Glue Factory over Chrysalis, given how it ended in the tournament.
I personally would agree.
Or is this already ordered for you?
No bias.
Is that what we're learning?
No. Okay. I just threw him in.
I would say 4th is Glue Factory, 5th is Nova Chrysalis. Going down 1, 6th is Wizards of Wahoo, 7th, Subtly Inting, 8th, Lacuna Matata. And then I'm going to go 9th, Summit Admins.
Oh, that's a hard one.
10th, 8 Cylinder. 11th, Mouth Breathers. 12, The World Orders.
I'd put Summit 11th, honestly. I think their playoffs was pretty rough.
If it was Nova Chrysalis at their best, I would put them over Glue Factory. But we're looking at how they ended the tournament. Who did you say you'd put over who?
I put Summit 11th and shift MBR and V8 up.
Pog. That's good.
Personally.
I think when you look at the 3-game series... Actually, no. I would actually put us over us. I think our best roster would beat Summit Admin's best roster.
I think so.
We just got fucked by Ague getting evicted. So I would put us ninth. I think overall we're ninth. Can we make it shake hands? V8 is ninth.
Down.
Chat.
Yep.
Luton. I'm shaking the camera. You gotta put your hand over the camera. We're shaking it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that didn't even go into the frame of your camera. That's crazy.
Oh.
Because you're
It
cropped.
did on my end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're cropped.
Unlucky crop diff.
And then just to do the final team PR. So that's my 1 through 12. I'm gonna put 07 at 13, Leg at 14. No, 07 at 13, Molly the Dog at 14, Leg at 15, and Freaky Floppas at 16.
Can I put Freaky Floppas at 17th, just for the love of it?
Hey, whatever you want to do, go ahead. You're gonna be the one who has to deal with Braun Cena. Okay, it's not up to me.
All right.
All right,
Yeah, they already crashed out before. Surely they don't crash out again over it. Like
our tier lists. Which real quick, just got to bring it back up that this was and still is the longest individual one-person speaking segment in any Running the Gauntlet to date. Was Hamea's bracket prediction, and let's take a second to look at it. I mean, it's not that bad actually.
it's not bad.
There's
when it got to like when you already had 2 losses, I kind of just left it up. But like you could say GT beating MBR. That's a good guess.
Yeah, I mean,
the other 2 not so much, but it was pretty good. I think all 4 of us got the winners bracket round 1 correct within reason. Maybe not the game count, but the series at least.
Okay, well he's not. We can
just
skip
guess
his.
the winners.
He doesn't.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
He
I hate
doesn't.
that
He's
guy.
not really here.
Get him out of here.
Mine is. Well, I don't even have X's here. Hold on.
Well, yeah, it's like I said. Like I don't know how to tell you lost V8 versus PP. That shit just didn't happen, you know.
It's like it was.
Yeah, but like if V8 did play PP, they probably,
I mean, we
maybe.
I put Peter in the motherfucking body bag. Okay, if anything,
Yes.
Nova Chrysalis being so ass is what costed me the run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this was just a horrible finger on the pulse of power rankings, and then I didn't even use them. Team power rankings. I didn't even use them to make the bracket.
Hey, you got the first 4, and you got WoW. You got WoW dead on.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I had faith in the pool 1 teams, but then you look at Luton notorious for not having faith in the pool 1 teams.
Yeah, for sure.
You actually did so good until
I lost.
Until Glue Factory loses.
It's funny too because I said AWB after losing is going to lock in without Woof Woof in some context. I didn't expect it like that. Not the way I was wanting it to go, but
it's a that's actually, Luton. Everyone, round of applause for Luton.
I think I had this one pretty good. I didn't get the other brackets because those were after the first week of playoffs. So like,
yeah,
you didn't predict from the start. You're kind of lame. Sorry, buddy.
And his running the gauntlet was also after the second week, so he had like half the bracket gifted to him. You had like 3 50-50s to call. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty genuinely impressive. One more time, just to ask, how do you feel about the Glue Factory loss?
Still a bit sad about it. I hope we can run it back in some manner somehow.
I did some math. Remind me when we talk about the comp teams to bring this up for Glue Factory. I did some math for you today. All right.
Interesting.
That's our bracket predictions. Chat, do we feel like we had our finger on the pulse of the content machine? If no one says anything, they agree.
I don't know what that
means.
Fuck,
Stream Elements immediately said something.
Just got gapped, buddy.
Fuck. Thank you, Promec, for saying yes, because now, even though you said something, you agreed with me. I win that engagement. Final bracket overall, of course, everyone knows this at this point. The AWB 3-1 for Poro Pounders victory. I sent this to Lacuna because he was so confident that Poro Pounders were going to win. Now I just wanted to show him it. So congrats again to Atomic Whisper Brigade, the winners of GCS Season 1. I believe both Promec and June are officially retiring as well. So they're going out kings. You'll never get another shot at them. One of
I feel like Promec was a little 50-50 on that, but...
Wait, I thought he confirmed it.
I'm forcing him to retire. He's out of here. Get that guy on the bench.
Because he's that old? Is that what you mean? You're making fun of him?
Yeah,
Layden?
yeah, I'm making fun of him for being old.
That's
I don't
crazy.
even know how old he is, but he's old.
All right. That's GCS season 1. We're now going to talk about some announcements. It's an open questions and answers phase. If you want to, I would like to pop people in for a question. Because he said he had to go on vacation. That's what it was. It'll fuck up the camera, but you'll pop in, ask your question, and then we'll leave so the camera will fix itself. Does anyone want to come on Running the Gauntlet Lives Edition to ask any questions?
I feel like Promech will.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know, because I hate that guy.
I can make a statement. Sure, Promech. We'll roll you out the red carpet one time. Let's move to Stream VC. You get your one statement. Promech?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, we can hear you.
Okay, so all I want to say is in the series, I feel like the first 2 games, Peter outplayed me. The next 2 games, I feel that I outplayed him game 4, and then game 3, I don't feel that he necessarily outplayed me. We were probably more even, but I think I played very well that game 3. But what I want to say about the Casante game specifically, because this part annoyed me when I was watching it back and looking at the chat, which is essentially that there's this conversation of, oh, like Promix getting gapped top lane, particularly for game 2, but game 2 was quite literally like Peter getting an early gank, then Peter getting a tower dive on me, and then getting a third tower dive on me before anything else sort of happens in the lane, right? So I'm set behind by getting 3 ganks from Rambo, who at that point was already fed, and my 4th death doesn't happen until we're like 9 and 27.
Did you consider playing safer and not getting dove?
Yeah, no, I tried. It's just impossible.
Didn't try hard
It's
enough.
impossible. It's impossible. There's
No,
no
it's
universe
significantly
in the
better.
multiverse you live those ganks, is what you're saying?
Play safe mid.
Yeah, no, watch the games, bro.
I just want you to say it.
To play it as good as
I
could
want you to say
in those-
right now on stream, there's no universe in the multiverse you live those ganks.
those specific games. No,
Just say it. Say the
Okay.
full thing all together.
yeah, there is no universe in the multiverse in which those specific 3 ganks or 2 ganks that I got on the tower I would have survived. Like, there's just no way I could have played it better. I feel like I tried to play it as good as I could. There was one maybe angle I could have gotten, but I think I didn't have flash to make that work out. But no, I think Peter and Rambo specifically played those games very, very well, and I just wasn't able to do anything there.
All right. Thank you, Promech, for making an appearance on Running the Gauntlet. I'm going to let you go now.
Okay.
I just realized the ad
It's
for
dump,
HelloFresh has
please.
an emoji and
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Now
good
that Promech is disconnected and he can't defend himself live on stream, no, there's fucking no universe in the multiverse. The multiverse is literally fucking infinite. I think that there's a lot of ways Orin can play it. I reject the notion that a player who's a D4 peak can say that there is no universe where you're better or the things get misplayed exist where you survive those ganks. That said, I mean, yeah, when your bot lane is already crushing, you don't have to allot the resources bot anymore. You can just set up permanent dives topside. Promex still, won the series. Don't want to deny. But that is the thing that I disagree with is like, when you are the place that can get ganked, getting ganked does not mean you weren't gapped. Like, Peter Griefer has to play with his junglers to set those up, especially when you factor in that Rambo is not the best jungler for dives. Hydrate. I got this Coke Zero. All right, we have someone as Evaps needs to tell me himself he wants to.
Yeah, I'm asking. I don't believe television.
There's no
Couldn't
shot
tell you why.
television would live to us. He just wouldn't dare.
All right, Evap said IDK.
What?
TV is trolling. My shock.
What did you ask?
I asked if he wanted to be in, and he said,
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, no, put him in.
He said put him in. Okay, hold on.
No, pull him in.
Move to.
He needs to rage bait TV,
Stream VC. Evaps, welcome to the stream for live Running the Gauntlet.
Who was the worst strong league this season?
Who was the worst
I
jungler
gotta
this season?
Gotta give it to Touch Figure. That guy's
Yeah.
a fraud. Making a
That's what I
fraud.
thought.
Where do you stand
Okay.
on the fact that TV? Many people are calling TV the son of Rambo.
I think I would agree with that. TV gets fathered.
Yeah, TV doesn't play Wukong like that. No
Like,
way.
we knew that he was going to be a failure of a jungle when he lost to Damien Naruto, jungle wise, in
Yeah.
our first series against Glue Factory.
Yeah, that guy is like so bad at the game. I don't know why you first picked him.
He
first
paid
pick of
me
the draft, by the
10
way.
bands, bro. He paid me 10
Ah,
bands.
hell nah.
10 bands to go out in first round of playoffs. Damn.
Yeah.
Rough.
I have to un-VIP TV, instead of re-VIPing himself, un-VIPs Aloon. Crazy levels of hatred.
He's
Oh, and
your-
Aloon immediately redeems it back. Evaps, is there anything you want to tell people?
I'm back.
Wait, what are you? You're back?
Does that mean you're actually
I'm
playing?
back. Yeah, I'll play. I'm gonna play next season.
Wait, this is
Wait,
a
does that mean you're not
live.
gonna be TV's shadow captain, or
Yeah.
oh hell yeah, that's what TV gets for trusting you.
A
Don't trust
live
never.
announcement of SK Evaporator's return to GCS. You said it best. I changed my first pick from Levi to SK Evaps. I would be
hell
pack
no.
one, pick one, SK Evaporator. You know,
I need my fourth in a row, man.
they call
Are you gonna
him
captain
Mega
him,
Gump.
or
Well, you would
what's
be
up?
getting your first one ever, Evaps. You're not. It's
Ah,
not 4 in a row. It's not 4 in a row.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
scared of Promec.
Yeah, Promec
Okay,
is saying
yeah,
you're
that adds
returning
up.
after he announces his retirement.
Whoa. I wish that Promec played, man. Free win every time.
I mean, that player does notoriously lose to very last nerve. We can't ever let him forget that. He only has so high he can climb because VLN has beat him. Evaps, is there anything else you want to tell the people on the stream or any questions you have for us?
No, I'm good.
All right, I'm just going to disconnect you. You can move back to where you need.
All right.
Dude, GCS Season 2 already
That's big.
shaping up to be better than GCS
I asked him, like,
Season 1.
3 days ago, and he said no. This fucker.
I heard rumor.
I swear to God.
I heard tell that TV actually unironically used his one
rage baited
time.
him?
He used his
Oh.
one time to get him in.
Damn.
Which
Shout
means
out TV. That guy's the
GCS
goat.
Season 2, if he wins somehow, and he's like, I'm going to retire because I won, I'm going to be using my one time to get him to play
Oh,
GCS
no.
Season 3. Shout out
Just
TV
keep
for
him
getting
in
him
as
to
long
play.
as you can.
Yeah. I take it that's going to be all the questions we have. Does anyone else have anything they want to say, do, ask, or
should-
believe?
Surely TV wants in, right? Like, that guy loves yapping. Maybe you can't keep it in.
No shot TV wants it. No shot TV then.
Yeah, that guy's he's scared.
That will be after the Q&A section,
when we-
ADL King.
yeah,
I'm
when
writing
we're
the
done.
comment for it right now.
That I can tell you now. That just depends on signups. Like, we see who we get.
Luton, fill for time. I'm doing something with my funny little hands.
I don't think I will. I can tell Loon that he shouldn't sign up because he sucks. I actually don't know what his LP cap is.
It's like 580. I don't think he qualifies for
Does it
250
have to be
LP.
under 400? Yeah.
It's under 500.
I think if even then he should sign up just in case. You know.
Yeah, he
if
could be on our
doesn't
GM
qualify, we will just tell him and he's out.
Role general.
If you have to make first team and second team.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say.
Is that based off PV Pro Mech or is that just raw skill? How did you guys do? Wow, damn. What are you saying?
There are 600 LP caps. Yeah, it's likely that we're going to be doing Risen. You technically don't qualify for the 250 LP one. Don't worry. I've been in and out of that rulebook today. I would consider this, provided that you guys do well in,
Risen?
no,
Or-
in tryouts. That's what I'm looking for.
Trials. Okay.
There is also Risen doesn't only have leagues, but they have their assembly league, their team builder, which is effectively
Oh, that's
our
funny.
tournament with the budget draft, except you then go play in a pre-made 5. So, not to say GCS would sponsor it explicitly, because GCS is gonna sponsor these capped leagues and pre-mates that we do there. But if Glue Factory was looking for something to continue to play together for, that team builder league
Is it full
something you should
uncaps?
consider. It is up to Masters 250 LP peak. So,
Um,
well, no. So
think we
the way team builder works is you have 50 points to spend, and every rank value is X amount of points up to Masters 250
Oh.
LP. And
And
so
then past that is just the set cost, or
no, okay, yeah. So
Okay,
for
so
the
Panda-
250
so Panda
LP,
can't play is what
yeah,
you're saying.
Pandemonium can't play at all.
Alright,
But
yeah, then
every
it's cooked,
other
it's
member
cooked.
you could assemble 5 for if you wanted to. That's just for him. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm just telling you that while everyone else comes in. Luton, you want to tell the people about it, or you want me to do the big boisterous telling people about it, and then you do the specifics?
I don't know. I don't know this, but you go for it, and I'll just fill in the gaps.
Did you send me the link?
I should have. Yes, I did.
Okay, so I've ran the budget, ladies and gentlemen. I've ran the budget. And technically, if there is enough interest, we actually can do up to 5 teams, because by the time the signups officially begin, we'll have that budget. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to cap us at 3, but if there is enough signups. So let me talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, GCS will be officially announcing its competitive teams. We are going to be sending you as envoys to other communities to compete in the name of GCS. You will have our logo attached to you. We'll figure out names together once we actually have the teams. But a requirement for that is that all of you, bing, 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 try out. No one is guaranteed as a team, and you cannot join as a pre-made if you want to rep Gauntlet Championship Series in the communities. We want to see you play at your best, see you play with people. Just a quick rundown on requirements that I have for you. You have to be willing to play on the league games or the league days. I don't think that we'll be able to have very many substitutes, if any at all. So there's a very high level of commitment. Past that, you will act as representatives of the Gauntlet Championship Series in tournaments. So you're not only trying out for the team in terms of skill, you also have to try out in terms of how you act. If we have longstanding disciplinary actions against you, we'll need to talk about those, get those resolved. And if you become a problem in how you act in other Discord servers, we'll pull you from our team and replace you, just as forewarning. We're doing open tryouts on this sign-up form. What is it, Luden? Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, next week.
You will be signed up, put on a team of 5 to then play around. So every given day, you'll have a team of 5 to play games. That's how we'll test and evaluate your skill, look at results, see how you work, calming, all that. Our mods will be in and out to make sure everything's copacetic, get not only tests of your skill, but also like interpersonal conflict resolution, how you actually talk, communicate, things like that. It'll be a full-on event, a 3-day event where you'll show up for X amount of time each day to play games. Luton, you had something you wanted to say?
No, Promax mentioned one of the questions was in the wrong format, so I fixed that.
With that as well, we will be paying your admission fee. Straight up, GCS will sponsor you because you're giving the time. The only caveat to that is when you win, because I believe we have the strongest community around, we will take a portion of the winnings that the team gets to repay that admission fee. Then you will get the rest of it. It'll just go straight to the players. I don't plan to take much, provided that you're actually sharing. We'll actually look at the numbers. Maybe we take like $100 or something, but not that much. I want you guys to win. What else? You still have a requirement that once a year, you have to play in one of the GCS draft leagues. That is a requirement to sign up. So it isn't just trying out. It isn't just being good at communicating. You then also have to play in one GCS draft league a year. The reason for that is because the draft league is the heart and soul of the community that we have. It is what keeps us connected and going and allows people to make new friends and new people to ingratiate themselves into the community. When you just full dip 20, even 25 people, if we go 5 teams into comp leagues, you're cutting a huge chunk out. The community will wither. I'm not okay with that. So if you think that you're done with GCS draft leagues, I recommend not signing up for our comp teams either. I consider those just as important as the comp teams and what we are doing.
No rank requirements.
Technically, they're
game account requirement.
Oh yeah, you were the one who
You
knows
need to
anything about
play
those.
at least like 200 games within the past year, roughly.
Yeah.
Which is a lot for some people, especially if you need to do them in like 2 months.
Yeah, I would start grinding solo queue. Do we have the Risen rulebook that we can send?
I just had it open and I lost it already.
If we can just send those in here for it, because keep in mind that it's not 200 this split. It's 200 over a combination of other splits. There are also individual game records where if you don't have the 200 total, you can play additional now to figure things out. So if you want to read it, that's the Google Doc that takes you to the rules for you to check eligibility. The way that we're going to do it is we'll take all the people who sign up and we'll run practice games. Because even if it's not necessarily in the ELO that you'll play against in your actual leagues, we want to test you, right? Heat check you is the best ability. Then we will take you X amount of people from each rank. Let's say there's the E4 to D4 league. We'll take our Emerald 4 and Diamond 4 signups, choose probably the best 7, 5 players main roster and 2 dedicated substitutes, which we will tell our substitutes for each team. And we will say, you will be the GCS admittance for the Emerald League or whatever it is. All of you should have a manager, which is Luton if he doesn't end up on a team, and Bubbles if Bubbles doesn't end up on a team, and me if I have to get involved. TV if he wants to, but that's something else to talk about.
Okay.
That I've been doing a lot of reading today. There are caveats in some of these leagues. Like there's a D1 99 LP peak league, but you're allowed 1 Masters 150 or lower player on it as well. That's something that you can have. And also there's the 250 league where all the players can be less than 250, but 2 can be Masters 500 LP peak or lower. So things like
17th
that.
should be later at night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Feel free to jump in whenever.
17th and 18th, I assume, would be later in the day.
Yeah, these
Tryouts,
will be like after works and stuff. And we'll be looking, hopefully, to pivot the most amount of games that you play to the Friday and Saturday time slot. There is no cap for your guys' sign up. So, Gumby, you're actually someone that we've thought about with ourselves. Technically, we can put together a 500 plus LP cap league with Sprinkler, Riddy, Gumby Power, different /Alune, or Levi. So it's 500 or higher.
Like that, yeah.
It's 500 or higher. It's their Champions League. It's just to say, Gumby, if you want to play sign up, we can find players to fill it. So if he can't be it, we can find a different GM. At least try. It'll be something that we recommend.
Case, I think signing up for a coach if you're interested in that too, like Gumby, not Gumby, Alune said. Yeah,
coach would be huge. Either just literally helping them practice, or a team manager would also be nice. We need managers.
That's true. Yeah, manager.
We can't confirm you as a coach, Alune. There will be an interview process for coaches I want to do that I think is necessary to make sure you also represent GCS, because a coach, in my opinion, would be effectively joining our team.
Yeah.
Why did you just call him Black Gumby? What? But
He's saying the team name is GCS Black.
I would like to have an incredibly high elo team if 5 players sign up. I think my idea of how this goes is we have either 2 teams in the 250 peak, or I think it'll be 1 team in the 250 peak league, 1 team in the D1 99 LP peak league, and then 1 team in the Emerald League. Non-negotiable times of the week. Those are, it's in generic weekdays. That's for our signups. Look in the rule book for the specific days. Doesn't Risen play?
They play weekends for a couple. It's kind of a mix.
We'll have to look at it. We'll have that as well once we look to pick our leagues. There's also a chance that we pivot to Titan, but I think we're locked in for Risen.
It's Saturday, Sunday for everything except for Masters Plus, essentially.
Yeah, which that's where we'd be, right? Most likely.
Most likely.
This is the
We'd have maybe at most 1 or 2 Masters teams. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
We'd have more than that.
So consider signing up.
Weekdays aren't as likely now. Weekdays was more if we were in a different league. But that it can also help us figure out practice as well.
It's fine. Just remember to you signing up, you have to play in 1 GCS draft league a year. Keep that in mind. Geeky, if you can send them.
It's Saturday, 7 p.m. For Emerald and Plat. Sunday, 4 p.m. for Diamond. Thursday,
what
8
time zone?
p.m. These are all Eastern. Thursday, 8 p.m. for Masters.
Yeah, that's something. Can you make a note for me real quick, Luton? We need to talk about game times for next season.
Yeah.
I'm fine reducing it to where there's only one game time for Saturday and Sunday. Those can be different times, but one game time for the day, and just in everything except playoffs, probably. We'll figure out a way. It's something to talk about. Make note of it. Make note of it. But yeah, so we are taking these next steps because we consider this a part of like our community, right? We want you guys to succeed. I want to, and I think the GCS staff, as we've met and talked about this, also agree. We want to see you succeed, and we want you to do it because we believe you're the best and most competitive tournament around in our name. So we're sponsor you to go in. You'll have to be able
You
to be
also have to
friendly.
win.
Yeah, you have to win. That was a requirement. If you lose,
You're out.
Feelin's going to be angry. But yeah, I'm very excited to take these next steps. Luton, are you excited?
If I'm getting in, I'm not excited to play 200 ranked games personally, but I'd be in a comp team. That'd be pretty fun. I do want to get in one, but there's some competition for me.
I think a lot of people are going to be looking for a duo very soon to get those 200 games in. Guys, do you have any last minute questions for us as well? I need to pull up one more thing, Luton, so you can chat with them.
It's 200 ranked games in the past 4 splits, roughly. About 50. It was 50 for the 3 splits last year. If you don't have them, then you need 200 this split, I believe, on Risen. I have to double check. But if you play ranked decently often, then you should have the games. But people like me will need to play 200 games in a few months. So don't be like me in that.
Yeah, also, I want to jump in. One thing I forgot to say is where there are needed slots. So let's say let's say for some reason we decide to do the 500 plus league. Gumby said Sprinkler wouldn't play, so we would need a 500 LP plus top laner. If you guys had a friend and stuff, we could look to do that. But we are naturally and just openly really only caring about people that are in GCS and a part of the community to be on the comp teams. The only exception is if we literally have to get someone else. Like let's say we had no other teams that could be made except for the 500 plus one, and so we had to get a fill out. But being a part of this is being within our community. Okay, you'll also work a lot with our moderator team, myself included, Luton included, if he doesn't end up on a team. Because like I say, the coaches become a part of it. Y'all are becoming a part of it because you're representatives, you're envoys into other communities. And so you can't just send this to your friend and get them to sign up as well. The people who want to be a part of need to be a part of our community. The best way is for them to go ahead and join and start trying to get to a part of the community for future events. But this is for GCS.
It looks like it might actually be closer to 150 games. And then you play some within that season if you don't have that many in that current season.
Yeah, that is what.
When they actually announce their rules for this current rank season, we'll have more information on that.
The only other expectation that I have for you guys is that every team will be assigned a manager. Like I said, you guys will become pretty insular in that, like, you'll talk to those guys to know when your game times are, when to play, things like that. You are not allowed. I'm telling you right now, listen to me, everyone who's signing up. If you make a team, you are not allowed to make your own team servers, okay? The reason that I'm doing that, and we will house you all in the GCS main server. We will have a section dedicated just for comp teams that is private, so only they can see it. The reason that we are doing that is because team servers in that regard will mean you'll spend more time in that server than you will in GCS main. And like I said, this hub is the primary part of our community. And so I need you to stay a part of it or things will wither and die. So you will have to be a part of the main Discord, in the Discord, when the comp teams roll around. Okay? Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Anything at all? Luton, do you have any questions for me, you little poggers? You little pogger child?
Had to make it weird, huh?
Is playing
no,
League and drinking illegal? It's not illegal, but it's probably a bad thing for your like public image if you want to join our comp teams. No,
No,
that's
tryouts. We're making the teams. Like you just sign up, and we'll put you onto various teams and
Yeah.
see synergies and all that.
You will likely be like not random rolled, but you'll be put with random people. You're not necessarily going to be with all your friends during tryouts because we want to see how you handle making friends, calming with people that you've never played with, your ability to learn and grow and adapt, things like that. Like there might be slight preferences that if two people, let's say you have a bot lane that's played together and they both qualify, we both agree that they're good, we're more likely to pair them together than apart. But during tryouts, you need to be ready to play with anyone. Maybe I missed this, but how are you guys determining coaches? If you want to coach, okay, we need to make a distinction. Coaching is, I am good at this role. I want to teach people this role. If you want to do that, message VLN. Tell them that's what you want to do. That's me, by the way. If you want to manage a team, i.e., you're in charge of all of the logistics, making sure they show up for the games, making sure there are scrims planned, and by proxy, winning a bit of the prize pool if they win, message VLN. I'll get us situated where you're talking to all of the managers we currently have, and we'll do an interview process for both of those. Okay? Drafting/teamwork. Is this a manager or a coach? What do you mean teamwork? That would likely be the manager. I don't think your managers are allowed to be there on game day. I might be wrong on that. But if you aren't just trying to coach, if you are an ADC player trying to coach ADC players to get better and you don't want to work with one individual 5-stack, that is a coach. A manager has 5 or 7 players, I think we agreed on. 7 players that they manage. You do all the logistics. You make sure they show up on game times. You read the rule book, answer questions for them. You schedule scrims. You do drafting, things like that. That's manager. If you want those, DM Very Last Nerve. I'll make an interview process. Luton, you want to be a part of the interview process with us? Yeah, that's a manager.
I guess so.
That's a manager. You don't have to be if you don't want to. I can eat those because I have no problem looking at someone who's applying and saying, you have these problems that you need to address before you can do this. That sounds like a coach note. Coaching just means something different. I'm giving you the vernacular.
Yeah, it's a weird mixture.
I'm telling you what our words mean. Don't use other people's words. Coach is, I am helping you practice a role. Manager is, I'm managing a team. All right, anything else? Anything? Loon's already DM'd me. I need to make a list and start planning those. Luton, how many signups we got, bro? Let's see. Any Poggers, Sugoi signups?
Wait, that's not right. Sorry, 8.
8 signups. Okay, let's send this. Oh wait, I should just add everyone. Let's not add everyone. Let's roll. Let's add the tournament.
At tournament, yeah. I'm gone. Gone with the wind.
Tryouts are what date? Tell me the dates.
17th, 18th, 19th.
Okay. Yeah.
Not on Easter.
Not on Easter. Explicitly not on Easter. You should be back now. Is Luton back, chat?
I might be.
Yeah, you're back. My little cutie pair. My little cutie bye. Okay. I think that's it. GCS Season 1 was a huge, huge hit. If you can't tell, we're taking it very, very seriously. I mean, hell, Gilly got a tattoo of the logo.
Crazy.
GCS Season 2 will be great. Anything else? If you need any other questions, if it's Comp League, probably message Luton. Unless it's about logistics, then you can message me. But yeah, go play customs. Geeky said go play customs. Go play customs. Luton, you got anything you want to say to the people?
Sign up next season 2? I don't know.
Yeah. That's last thing.
Wait, when is that?
Season 2 is set. Signups are set to start the 9th, right? Isn't that what we said?
June 9th or May 9th?
May 10th. Signups start the 10th. Draft is the 17th. First game's the 24th. Didn't we have to do that math because of
Let's stay with that, but let's re-verify and announce it later. Like,
Yeah, we'll re-verify and announce it. Don't listen to that number, is what Luton's saying.
it's around there.
GCS always on top. Always on top. I'm hitting the little moves. Season 2. Oh, keep in mind, this season doesn't count. I linked season in review. Fuck. Hold on. Live edit. Live pivot. Luton's, you DM me the link.
Did I?
Fuck. I copied
yeah,
the wrong link.
Whoopsie.
I changed it. Levi, tell people I changed it.
We do a little trolling.
Okay, I'm going to add tournament one more time. They can just get mad at me.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
average
everything
NA
disappeared.
production.
Average in it. Yeah.
No.
We add him again.
I'm out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.